Happy New Year 2016. It's Vaping Dawn to Dusk, episode 13. It's our New Year's Q&A hangover episode. Here's my co-host.
Hi guys, PolishVapesUK, and yes, Happy New Year to you all. We are just going to hang out. Obviously, it is now 2016. We may invite some guests in as well, and if anybody in the chat, if you've got a webcam and a mic, and if you want to pop in and have a chat with us on the show, you can just let us know, and we'll send you an invite and getting you to pop over.
So we don't know how you guys are doing yet, but we hope that your New Year's went great and that you're safe and everything. We're just waking up, and I guess Luke had his about 8 hours ago, and we're just trying to relax. So today's show is going to be a live Q&A, chill out. Like he said, we're going to invite some guests in just for fun, and it's just a low-pressure show. We didn't want to do a lot of planning for New Year's Day, you know what I mean?
Nope.
So, Luke, you were just telling me, what do you got going on this week? I got some stuff going on, and you said you're going to do some...
I'm gonna try and whack out some reviews. I've not got a lot of stuff left actually to review, so I'm probably going to only be putting out like one video a week, just because at the moment because of Christmas, I haven't had the money to be able to update my review stuff. So I'm just going to be doing month updates and the few last bits that I've got to get up for review.
Yeah.
But I'm going to probably spread them over a week of video a week or something like that.
Sure, good idea. Yeah, I just got the things that happened to me this week was that I got your Aromomizer right before last week's show, and I got the Fody in from H Cigar, and I finally perfected my Fody wicking. You guys notice that you can't even see them anymore. These same wicks have been in here for 2.5 days, and I've been going tank. So I know exactly how to wick this. I'm going to shoot a video on how to wick this thing with cotton, and I'm going to learn how to wick it with mesh with my friend Satiris, who's going to come to town and show me. And I'm going to do maybe a single or a double wick, U-shaped mesh wick in here, and that'll be cool. But this is actually a pretty cool atomizer. It suffers from one of the worst flaws ever. It has no knurling on the bottom, and so you'll notice right now, I screw it in. That's it. I stop. You don't ever tighten this down, ever. Don't tighten this down. Don't tighten it down. Turning the glass disassembles it.
Nice.
Anyway, though, this thing at 45 watts, it has a real deck on top. So that's a dual 0.22 22 wrap static wire sitting on top of here with real wicks and stuff. And I'm using Fiber Freaks or Cotton Bacon. I can't remember, but you fill up through this gigantic fill hole here, which it's kind of a pain in the ass because you can lose the plug. But what's funny about that is that I've left home without this plug 4 or 5 times, and it makes absolutely no difference. This thing doesn't leak as badly as you would think this thing would leak like a sieve, but it doesn't. It doesn't leak as bad as my Overcast. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. So I got this week, and I'm going to do a video about how to wick it. And I finally got this thing all built out. It's got a dual 23 gauge slanted build on the velocity deck, and this thing fucking chucks clouds. It's absolutely fantastic. It is a great gift, and thank you, PolishVapesUK. He gave me this for Christmas.
Yeah. Let's just have a look in chat. We'll say hi to a few people. We've got Ronald from My Vaporium. We've got Cassidy, the beardy vapor that we've had on the show.
Cassidy Dorman.
He's at work watching the stream.
That's awesome.
We've got Johnny, Highlander, Mike. Who else we've got? We've got Johnny.
Oh, Mike Pavia.
Badass Vapor. Brett Marubry.
And George was just here. Vaping Teddy was just here a few minutes ago, but he had to leave right before we started.
Stan's Vape Land. And Sheeny VG. I know he's there as well. We've got a few people in the chat at the moment.
That's fantastic. You know, we love all you guys. You guys are great. And we've been sitting here doing this show for 13 weeks because of you and because of other people like you. One of the other things that I did this week was I doubled down on the Anakin T15. So my buddy Shane, I got him one of those and some spare coils, and I'm going to try to get him off the combustion. He's like has a really 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 hard time with it. Which let's remind everybody, we have a really really hard time with it. That's a real thing, and that
Yeah,
it's nothing to judge. It's something to be sympathetic about because it's really hard.
yeah.
Um,
Quitting is not easy.
no, that's what we're all doing. Is trying not to smoke cigarettes. I still think about it. Um, What kind of New Year do you guys all have? Let's ask the chat. Ron, Brett, Johnny, Sheeny, everybody, Highlander.
Yep.
Uh, who we're missing is um is I can't think because I just woke up. I swear to
Too early.
God.
Too early. We're missing a few people.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure, some people will be in soon.
yeah. And I want to stress again that this year all of us have to repeat this mantra. 2016 is the year of advocacy. We have to actually do our thing.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly important that we stop tuning this out. Like right now, I can see my viewership go, "Rrrr," but we have to stop that. And I'm not going to lecture, but we all have to do that.
Yeah. Sheeny said he spent it with his lovely girlfriend and a top bloke called Polish Vapes, whoever that
Oh,
is.
where did he find another guy who's cool called Polish Vapes? That's fucking
No.
weird.
Cool
Wow.
cool Polish Vapes as well. I don't know who
Yeah.
that is.
I mean, there's two. Because I know that there's another Polish Vapes, but he's not the UK, the cool model.
No, don't know what's
That's
going on there. I've been downgraded.
That's fantastic. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, so one of the things that I've been asked a lot this week, let's just talk about general stuff that I've been at that's going on, is that this is a time in vaping when a lot of people are asking me, hey, I want to upgrade my mod. What should I do? And they've got an iStick 30, iStick 40, iStick 50, or whatever. One guy with an iStick 100 watt asked me that. And that's a good question because there's nothing wrong with any of those devices whatsoever. Like this aromomizer will run on anything 70 watts or less. This Foti will run on anything. It doesn't need more than 40 watts. You can fucking have delicious vape. So you don't need tons and tons of power. But right now in vaping is a time when there is just a ton of new mods coming out that are more efficient than this year's mods. Am I right there, Luke?
Yeah, definitely. And don't just
I'm telling.
don't buy anything, guys. I will share a story with you that Sheeny has spoke about as well on his YouTube channel. He was in his local vape shop, and I'm not going to call him a kid, but a youngish guy walked in with one of these and said, "Oh, it's not working." Sheeny opened it and he vented the batteries.
Oh my God! And it hadn't burned him or hurt him or
No,
anything.
but he didn't know anything about battery safety or anything, and he actually bought it from that shop, and he bought it because they told him to buy it.
So he should have bought a regulated mod.
Yeah, they didn't check what he needed or how good his battery knowledge was. They just said, "Yeah, I'll buy this because it's good," and he ended up venting the batteries in it because he didn't know how to use it properly.
That could have seriously injured him.
Yep.
And I in fact have an unregulated box mod with no MOSFET in it. And the other day, this is one of my terrible stories. The other day, an experienced user who knows what he's doing, had an upsetting experience and got back in the car. When I got out of the car, I had taken the batteries out of this box mod, and so I got back in the car, put the batteries back in the box mod, pressed the button, and I put one of the batteries in wrong. So I had to stop the car, dive behind a dumpster in the rain, and chuck these batteries out of the box and just throw the box away. And so that's a lesson to everybody that even people who are experienced know what they're doing. If you're not paying attention or if you're distracted, don't fuck with your batteries. Don't do anything with your batteries that isn't deliberate and isn't careful. I made that mistake. Other people have made that mistake. I'm not dead, but I mean, you could be. So that's an important thing. Yeah, it's really important. I've been telling people to put the brakes on buying mods at this very moment because I don't want to tell people to buy a Sigelli 150 or an Asola 100 or a Snow Wolf 200. You know what I mean? I don't want to tell them to buy any of this year's mods, except for obviously the holy grail here, the cool Jabo Wismac. This one, people, is the first box besides DNA 200 to the new generation of boxes. This is better efficiency with the same batteries, better chips, same batteries. This chip is made by Joytech. That's why this thing is so great.
Yeah.
So this Joytech owns this company. They created Wismec to make a playground for Jabo to design stuff. So this is the same electronics. This thing is flawless. So except for the weight. What am I saying? The chip is flawless. And so right now in vaping is a time when there's going to be a lot of mods. Kanger, Cooper, Smock, um, Joytech just came out with it. Was coming out with a 2 battery version of this in January. So right now, wait to buy mods, and then you'll see mods that have lipos in them that are good. And like the Tesla 2 is a cool mod if you want a mechanical with 4,000 mAh. Pretty cool if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do not, if you have any questions at all, or if you're even remotely concerned about anything, or you don't understand battery safety yet, buy a regulated mod.
Yeah. Do a lot of research.
Buy this. Yeah, once you start to understand batteries, the way batteries are, and once you start to be able to do the math in your head of how many volts equals how many watts with my build, once you can do that in your head, then it's time to think about getting a mechanical or a box mod or whatever. But these new regulated mods coming out are going to be much more efficient, and they're going to be much better. So right now, put the jets on that. It's a great time to buy tanks, though. If you want to buy a tank, get a Crown, get a TFE4, get a fucking Aspire Triton 2.
Yeah, I've only had one issue with venting, and that was due to the actual mod was just crap. But it didn't actually vent. It just got hot, but then I realized instantly, and I got it out there, and I ended up getting rid of the battery. I was like, I'm not going to reuse it after it got that hot. I couldn't touch it. Yeah. So it didn't vent completely, like explode or anything. But yeah, and that was due to the actual mech mod that I was using, which was a piece of crap, which is why I told people in my review not to buy it, which was the version 1 of the tugboat mech mod.
That's the story I just told. That's this mod. And this is the one that vented. And you know what? It's true. I probably exaggerated in my story. What happened to me is what happened to you. They got so hot I couldn't touch them. And in time, I got the batteries out of here. But what happened was the switch failed. I pressed the button. It was in wrong. And then it was going. And the switch did not stop. The MOSFET is what saves you guys. And so that's what was going on. So this is very dangerous.
This is why we did mention when we spoke about it before, if you're going to buy one of these, please just check and make sure it has got a MOSFET. These switches are good, but they're not the best switches in the world. So that even if you put your batteries in correctly, there is a chance the switch could fail. And if you haven't got that MOSFET there to protect you, then obviously you could have problems.
Dude, so let's just chime into what the chat guys are talking about too. And that's the same thing I'm tuned into this week. And that's the cuboid from Joytech. And the second I saw it, I clicked on the order button. The instant I saw it, I was like, blam, give me that. So I'm gonna be one of you guys too. All of us who ordered it the second we saw it. Because if you own one of these and you see the cuboid, you click the buy button. Because if you own this, the only thing you think the whole time is, man, I wish this was a 150 watt device. You know, like I could do a little bit more with it, because this is the best pocket thing ever. And I carry this around with me all over the place. But a nice 150 watt one would be killer.
We use that nice pocket word again.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like portability, because the thing is, this is a really good topic. I was talking about this with I can't remember whom this week. Maybe it was Cassidy. I can't remember. We were talking about portability, and like I live in a dense urban center. Oh, it was you and I talking about it. I live in a dense urban center, and so I spend a lot of time with shoulder bags and coats and stuff on, walking and taking the bus. And a lot of people, like especially here in the States, spend a lot of time in the car driving around. They have a lot of seat space or whatever. So it makes, obviously they don't ever have to worry about that. Like, for example, I put this in the cup holder when I take the car. We do own a car. It's in storage down there. We drive it once a week. But so this goes in the cup holder. And so that's totally valid. Like you might not ever need to.
Yeah, I know Sheeny got the Evic Mini for Christmas, and he absolutely loves it. And Greg just said, Greg just said Cuboid has just put an upgrade out, and it's now 200 watts.
I saw that. Well, I saw a screenshot of that and wondered if it was actually true, but that's killer.
Yeah,
That's
200
awesome. Thank you.
watts. What is it? Is it running parallel batteries?
It's got to be series if it is. It can't. You
Yeah,
can only get 150 watts out of
two.
one, out of
Two's
two
only.
in
Yeah,
parallel, and then you can get about 180. And I have a question about all these new two battery mods, and you can only really get 180 watts out of two 18650s with the voltage, but they're regulated well. And the truth is, if Daniel comes back and says that this is a 160 watt device, I won't give a fuck. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like just the fact that, well, you know what, man? They made this chip and it's 200 watts for real.
free. That's free. Yeah, free
Oh, you're
battery
right. What am I
time.
saying? I'm being a complete. Yeah, can you tell that it's like morning time on New Year's Day? I forgot this has 3 batteries.
That's why I
Um,
don't. Unless you can use it or someone can test it, I don't think that a 2 battery mod's going to do 200 watts. There's
Me
not.
either.
Not the way, especially not the way the DNA does it.
Mhm.
Not if it's not, you're not going to get 200 watts instantly when you press that button.
Well, the DNA says on the box that it'll never do more than 133 on 2 batteries.
Yeah, on 2.
To be fair, which those are boxes that are also coming. 2 battery DNA 200s. You guys are gonna
Yep.
want them. You
Yep.
trust me when I tell you that your 150 watt device is not necessarily going to be as good as a DNA 200 with 200 real watts with two
Yeah.
battery. Or I'm sorry, 133 real watts at with 2 batteries. Because on these things, I'm sorry, DNA 200. On these things, when you press the button, you start thinking to yourself, is it more than that many watts? Like when I put this on 110 watts and then vape on it, or even 70 and then vape on it, and then I put it on any other mod except for this and vape on it, it feels weak. And part of that is ramp up time and electronics and stuff. But Joytech is really owning.
Yeah.
Really have. They've,
Greg just mentioned if Daniel tests it and it's not 200 watts, it's not going to be a deal breaker.
me either.
For me, it's not about it's not about it not being able to do 200 watts, because I don't use, even now I don't use over 100 watts. It's the fact that they're advertising it to do 200 watts and it doesn't. That's the problem.
Yeah,
They
me
should be
too.
advertising it for what it does, not saying 200 watts just because then some people are just going to go and buy it for that reason.
I completely agree with you, and that's the reason why this was the first honest device, except maybe the SX Mini M class. This device told the truth. It's delivering those watts, and this was the second device all year that was like, "Yep, it's delivering that exact." Yeah, on the box, pull it out, press the button. Yep. So this is what's happening, y'all, is that all of these things have been caught, and now we're going to see a new generation of slightly less lying. So the whole new generation, isn't that right? So the whole new generation of mods are going to be closer to the real wattage. And any mod that's a 2 battery DNA 200 is going to be really 133. It's going to be probably good. And H Cigar has already announced their version, and of course nobody trusts. I mean, their warranty policies suck, but H Cigar's DNA 200 is already one of the best ones you can get, and the 2 battery one will be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Stan wants a DNA 202 mod. You know what's funny about that is that's entirely possible. They can put a littler lipo. It'll probably end up being more like a DNA 100 or DNA 90.
You could have a stacked 18650 dual. They just have to be like this long.
I'd say that. Yeah, 26650 is the only way to go if you're going to stack 2 of them.
Yeah. That might work. Heavy metal. Hello, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew. Good morning. Yeah, so right now, Kanger, Cooper, Joytech, everybody is coming out with more truthful, better chips coming out starting right now. You've seen them already. Like I've got the Kanger coming and the Joytech and all of them.
Yeah.
So we're going to see the rise of more, like slightly more powerful mods, and all, like I said, all those 2 battery DNA 200s that are going to be great. So I think 2016 will see a lot of really good mods that are medium powerful that are going to last people a long time.
Oh yes.
Because 90 to 120 90 to 133 watts, that is a great sweet spot for learning how to build and still firing down your fucking 40 watt. This is delicious at 40 watts.
Yeah. Please don't forget, guys, as well. There is going to be no giveaways today, but we have got the announcement of the winner for the replay show for the support RDA, which we will announce a little bit later on.
Thanks for just having everyone tune out just then, Luke. That's great. I'm just kidding.
Got the support. If you want the support, you got to watch. Go see who's winning. I'm not sure if the guy. I don't think the guy's in the chat. No,
not this time.
But we have got the winner for this support RDA, which is a really nice RDA. Shall we see anybody in the chat? Do you want to come on to the live show? If you do, let us know, and we'll get your email so I can send you an invite.
Highlander named the best new device for 2015. It's the Kimsung STL Ball. Yeah.
Yeah, best. That is the best. Yeah.
And the best made device has to be that a Solo 100 or 200.
Yeah.
It was actually, no, it's 100. It's actually a good device, but it's made so poorly. I give the award for the biggest lark, the biggest straw man, to this thing. And every time I post about this, for example, like somebody comes to the defense of it, like they have stock in Praxis Vapers. It's so weird. It's like be objective. Open the thing up and take it apart. It's a piece of shit, and China sold it to them. And you're insane if you buy that series box for $95.
Yeah, we said the K word.
Which one?
Kimson. Greg they said the K word. Yeah, I think it's like a Harry Potter thing. You're never allowed to say Kingsman ever again.
There's a certain highway out here whose three-number name I won't say. That's the worst traffic shithole nightmare hellhole ever. It's over there. I won't talk about it.
Stan just said he salvaged his Kingsman and put a Ego 1 coil in it.
That's a great idea.
And it worked great.
I think that's probably fine. I'm really excited about those T15 starter kits and the T22 starter kits. I've had a lot of people this year struggle with quitting, and the Ego 1 has been good, but I think it's outliving its usefulness. And that I've got a T15 coming. I ordered a T15 for a friend along with some extra coils, and I'm going to make some higher Nick DIY. I'm going to do that.
Vaping Coffee.
Oh, Vaping Coffee loves the crown. That's the C word. We can say that, if we can say the C word here. I've got mine right before the show. Oh, yeah, you've got yours all set up, too. Right before the show, you should have seen it. I was vaping on this, and I smashed it into my face, right into my lip, and it hurt so bad. I was like, I'm crying. I was all red. He was like, good job, Juicy.
Yeah.
It's the T18. That's right. Thank you, Greg. You're totally right. I have like a little bit of a dyslexia for numbers, and so often I say numbers 4 or 5 times in a row because I'm like, no, that number. Yeah, that's the one.
Are you stocking the T18, Andrew?
He'll tell us in a few seconds. So that thing's great, and I'm going to try to get people on that thing. And I'm trying to order an extra one. I take it up to Zach at Future Vapor and just show it to him so that he can decide if he likes them too. They carry the Ego 1s, which are great. It's not like I'm dissing the Ego 1. But hey, Michaela.
Hello.
Oh, there's Brittany. That's who Brittany Hollow Angel was, who I was saying we were missing earlier. And when I couldn't think of any words at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Stan just said, "What's the deal with crown coils? They taste so shitty at first." Depends how you're using them. You do really need to break them in and start at the lower wattage for depending on what ohm coil you're using, and then work your way up. That's how I do it. I usually use a whole tank, then I put it up by 5 watts, and then I use it again, and then put it up by 5 watts until I get it to where I like it.
I completely agree with you. I take a little bit more aggressive approach, but I do the same thing. When I have a new crown coil, I'll put in a whole tank of sometimes just my zero nick. I keep zero nick in hazy custard, and I keep zero nick in my DIY. So sometimes I'll put like a whole tank of zero nick in there. And I've noticed that for me, I start at about 30 watts, and I'll vape that tank and raise up the watts slightly while I'm doing it. But it takes at least a half a tank, right, before it starts to not tasting weird. And I
Yeah.
don't know, are you talking about the nickel ones or the stainless steel? Both are true. It takes time for both of them.
Yeah.
The stainless steel is what I'm talking about.
I know. I know somebody did. Hello, Blaine. Somebody
Hi, Blaine.
did ask earlier as well what our favourite ohm coil was for the Crown. I know.
0.25.
Yeah, same here. 0.25 core is the best that I've had out of all of them. Absolutely hate nickel coil.
I don't like the nickel coil either. I've tried them. I've used them. They simply never do it for me. Every time I go temperature control on the stainless steel and then I go temperature control on the nickel, I just want to laugh and throw the nickel away and have a Viking funeral. It's like,
Yeah.
and some people disagree about the about whether it's the quarter ohm or the half ohm. The half ohm coils are good too. It's just that the quarter ohm ones really blow me away. If you own one of these like 50-watt devices that won't read below 0.3, get the half ohm coils and you'll be happy.
Yeah. They're both pretty good. I just prefer the 0.25. And I feel sorry for Hollow Angel right now.
It's minus 15 degrees. You'd better be talking about Fahrenheit.
And her water's
I
frozen.
mean centigrade. Centigrade would be much better than Fahrenheit there. You know that I worked in a freezer in Alaska that was minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit?
When did the show start? About 30 minutes ago, Michaela.
Just about half hour.
Yeah.
We're just going to hang out till we're bored. We didn't put a lot of high stakes in the first episode show. We just want to chat with all you guys and answer some questions, talk about all the shit we want to rant about. Right?
Yeah. Get any guests, and if guests want to come in, please just come in. We'll give you
Let's
the
get
link.
Hollow Angel to come on. Hollow Angel, will you come on to our show?
Come on. You know you want to. Come join us.
You can come on with a dark background looking like an emo person. It's fine. I don't think anybody cares. I'll get you a link.
You can stay for as long as you want. You can leave whenever you want. Blaine should get on his computer too. You can pop in. He's just woke up. He sees hungover. It's fine.
Right.
Get the camera on. Let's see you hungover.
You got to keep it to one or two people at a time max because that's our mojo. But it's been a nice day though. Yesterday was okay. I wasn't feeling well, and so my entire New Year was just. Well, you guys, in fact, noticed that I didn't post anything all day. I was like reaching for the phone, like oh.
Heavy said he can pop in for a minute or two.
That'd be great.
I don't think I've got him on. You've got his details, haven't you?
Right. Yeah.
Before this shop gets busy, he has to do some work.
Right. I did that. I did that through Facebook Messenger. Oh, 3 feet of snow. Wow. That's why your name is Vaping Coffee. Because 3 feet of snow makes me think of coffee.
Yeah, and Blaine said he'd pop in to say hello. I'm sure Andrew is open today. Greg, I'm sure he probably is, unless he's chilling with the kids and the wife. Heavy, yeah, he's at the shop.
Andrew.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, sir.
Shop's open today, Andrew.
Oh yeah,
Looking good, baby.
I'm trying this new thing called manscaping. It's where it's where you actually take care of yourself.
Yeah.
It's working out all right.
Yeah, for me too, because I see your beard looks really good. You've got a shape going. It's fun when you finally find a shape, isn't it? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I want my face to be like, yeah, and you can have that if you don't mind going to the razor and just being like a topiary, like a guy with the clippers.
I've always wanted Jay Leno's chin, and I think I'm getting it.
Yeah, yeah, you are finally. Actually, that's uncanny. That's kind of creepy. It's true. He's not kidding. What are you vaping on? Something good, I'm sure.
This morning I got the John Russ box, and that big boy, good God,
Ooh.
the 30 millimeter Buddha And I'm vaping some Yig from Grim Cult.
Nice. That sounds great. How was that 30 millimeter Buddha? That's got to be sick.
I like it, man. I put I got to where I started building my own fused Claptons and stuff. I stepped out on a limb, and I've never been a really big builder. So, basic coils for me have always worked. But
You got a parallel in there, don't you?
Oh, I got 24 core, 38 Clapton, paralleled with 24.
Yeah, that looks killer. I just did my own first parallel Clapton build the other day, and I'm so fucking proud of myself. I'm never going to undo it. But I guess I will next. But yeah, it won't focus, but I'm proud of myself. I didn't make the Clapton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not yet. I'm trying that. I'm working on that. I'm getting there. I'm
I'll
doing
tell you what, dude. You're a Prime member, so you need to go on Amazon and get you some #1 ball bearing swivels.
Oh, yeah, I know what those are.
Yeah, that will make your life so much easier when you're building like fused Claptons, regular Clapton, anything.
Yeah, because believe it or not, we have a fly fishing store here, and I was just going to pop in there and buy fly fishing gear to get started, But those ball bearings, I know exactly what those are. I used to use those in my old job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Those make it super easy.
Yeah, that's killer. Dude, so what's selling there? What do people want down there in Alabama right now? I'm curious.
Dude, there's a bunch of adore whores down here, man.
Oh, yeah?
I can't keep it on the shelf, dude. It's as quick as I get it in, it's gone.
It's awesome.
This last shipment she sent me, she overloaded me, so I actually still have some. The local stuff works here a lot. Like I'm in kind of this weird area of the country where I don't know what the hell. It must be something in the water, but we've got some of the best modders on earth. We got some of the best juice makers on earth. We've got some of the best builders on earth.
Good advocates. It's weird. Like Alabama is actually a pretty goddamn good vaping state as far as people goes.
I would disagree with you, but I'd be wrong.
I just noticed because from up here in Washington, you guys are active and loud, and there's a lot of it going on. Of course, this year was the year when you could be a box mod maker and get noticed nationwide. That's crazy cool.
It's all about your social media presence, from the way I understand it. If you have the social media presence, you can make anything work.
Yeah, absolutely. So people want adore whores. What do they want for hardware? I'm just curious. Like, are people looking for new stuff? Are people wanting tanks? Or they want RDAs? Or what do people ask you?
You get a lot of drippers, and I get a lot of tanks. More people are asking about rebuildable sections for sub-ohm tanks and rebuildable tanks.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
A buddy of mine called me this week, and he was like, he's one of those Kanger Subox kit guys, from the fall, and he called me this week and was like, hey, I broke my thing, and so now he's interested in RTAs, just like you said.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more of the fact that people realize they can actually build coils themselves instead of spending, $7-8 a week on replacement coils. They can just build their own. So, and then you have tanks like the Creus and the Aromomizer and the Griffin that are out now that are just they're head and shoulders above everything else on the market.
Oh, dude, did you see what Luke gave me for Christmas?
Oh, is that an Aromomizer?
Yeah, and I bought I bought the Velocity deck, and I put a dual 23. You missed this right before the beginning of the show because you just came on, but I built a fucking slanted dual 23 like in 10 wrap. It's so sick. It's like 70 watts.
That tank is probably my favorite tank on the market right now. It's so good. I don't even have it anymore. My wife stole it from me.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about because it's so amazing, but you got to like building, you have to like using the Velocity deck. Those two things are important. But once you do, oh my God,
Well,
Oh man.
that's like we were talking about last night. I was on. I jumped on Vape Team for a little while right before midnight, and I don't see how anybody can say the velocity is not the biggest game changer of 2015.
Who's ever said that? Well, we voted that as the #1 most important technological change of the year, besides accurate wattage. I mean, that deck changed everybody offers it because,
Exactly. Because it's perfect.
yep, because it's great. It's one of the most flexible, easy to use type of things they are. And the Petri is the only variation I've seen of it. Actually, all they did was go blank.
Well, you got the stuff like this, like the phenotype, and if I could get the damn thing up here, the phenotype L is, I consider it more Petri style than I do velocity style, just because it's only got 2 holes per side, but there's the deck on it, and it's really nice, but it's got really, really big post holes on it.
Yeah, and look, here's another example. These guys at H Cigar want to make an updated version of the Genesis, which I have mastered wicking, and look what's on it. Duh, a velocity style deck. It's actually just they're only about 2 millimeters, so you're not going to put anything enormous in here. But still, I mean, this deck is the most revolutionary deck of the year by far, and it's going to continue in that way. It's not necessarily the best deck for everybody, but it's undeniable that this changed vaping more than other decks.
I don't know. Saying it's not for everybody is that's a bold statement, because I've had people come in and buy the clones that I carry, the tobacco clones.
Tobaccos, yeah.
Yeah, and they've never built a coil in their life. They've never even thought about. They never even knew you could build your own coils. And I tell them, if you want to step into it, get you some 26 gauge Canthal, some 24 gauge Canthal, and a velocity. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And they get it. They walk out. They come back next week and they're like, "Oh my God, this thing! Where has this been all my life?"
Yeah. And also the velocity itself doesn't get enough credit for having one of the most flexible airflow systems ever too. People complain about it because they don't quite get it. I think people don't experiment a lot. If you really experiment with it, you can be like, whoa. Because the other thing is you can also change its orientation on the coil. You can do a fucking enormous amount of shit with this. So I give these guys, if I could afford it, I would own a real velocity. I swear to Jesus.
That's probably the only atomizer that I'm after right now that's over $100.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Me too. It's on my list of ones that's like good. But what I meant to say was that it's just sort of like a preference thing. Some guys love, like I've got a buddy who worships the El Cabron because that's his style. He's like cloud comping type of building, like going to do that. And I'm not saying he couldn't do it on a velocity, but he likes his El Cabron.
Yeah.
Sheeny, how are you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. You?
I'm doing great. I'm doing all the talking. What's going on?
Not much, mate. I just finished work. I just got home and I said to Luke, I'll pop on. So here I am. Hello.
Let's kill her.
We need to know that top bloke is called Polish Vapes.
It was a nice, relaxing evening, mate. I enjoyed it.
That's good. Happy New Year. I think 2016 will be pretty good.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? All the new vaping rules.
For us.
Polo 65 says he's going to be the new PolishVapesUK from Scotland.
I want to know. I've had this question posed to me a couple of times over the last week, so I'll pose it to you guys. What are you looking forward to most in 2016?
Events. That's about it. If everything goes the way they're planning it to go.
That's a really, really good question. For me, I think I've already seen where the mods are going. They're going to be different inventions in batteries, and we're going to see innovations, and we're going to see more closer to the truth wattage results and stuff. But for me, it's probably RTAs to see what's going to happen with them.
Yeah.
It's my thing. I just think RTAs are really going to do a lot this year.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see the new touchscreen devices they're going to be bringing out. I hear there's quite a few of them in the works.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder how long the battery's going to last on them.
Exactly.
Well, they're not that bad. I mean, I've owned this thing forever, and it's not a touchscreen, but I mean, I can tell you that they use OLED screens, so they use extremely little power. And I have a feeling it'll probably come out in a wash. I doubt that'll be a huge deal. The If they keep the brightness correct and you don't use it like a phone, it's important not to make it like a phone where you're going to be fucking with it all the time. Because if you fuck with it all the time, yeah, die.
And see, while everybody's talking about going, going forward technologically, like touch screens and big OLED displays, I'm going backwards. I'm stuck on my unregulated stuff. But I have customers, boys. I really appreciate y'all letting me.
Oh yeah.
Talk to the top of my neck for a minute. You guys have a wonderful day, and 2016, kick ass.
Happy New Year, man. Thanks for talking to us. Have a great
Yeah.
day.
Happy New
We'll see
Year.
y'all.
And see you there.
That's good news for him.
Do
Keep
you
me
want
busy.
to? Do you want to send a link to Blaine Juicy? Because I'm having problems.
I did
'cause I'm-
through Facebook Messenger. I sent it to
Oh.
you. Open up a Facebook page and it'll go, wow.
Yeah, I tried to do it through the Hangouts, but I haven't got him as a friend, and I don't think he can find the invite to accept it.
Yeah, it's in there.
And
Juicy, I'm
Yeah.
the same as you today, mate.
yeah,
You got Aromizer, you took the ring
Oh, yeah.
off. You know what? I've realized that I like the rings. First of all, I ordered the 4-pack or the 5-pack. I have every color.
Yeah, I need to get the colours so I can make it matchy-matchy. And get
Yeah.
some new drip tips.
And so it comes with purple. I ordered this. It has an extra black. And the one that comes with it's really loose. The replacements are tight. It's sick. It's way better. The replacements are really tight.
Nice.
So it's actually useful. You know what I mean? Like the original, you just go zzz and spins.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
this one, man. This one you have to actually go like, oh, I want a little airflow. So it's cool. I like that. Did you
I
guys
love
know? Did you guys know that my replacement deck? Oh, I need to send Skeletor a link. What am I doing? We'll get Jeremy in here. It'll be awesome. So I sent I sent away to Fastech to buy the replacement deck, but the replacement deck's 510 screws, the negative, are longer than the stock deck for this, and so it doesn't fit correctly. I have to buy a real one, which is fine, but I took a chance and just screwed it in anyway, and it turns out the O-ring is just big enough to where it doesn't leak.
Nice.
Hello, Dolly. So it isn't screwed down all the way. It's physically not capable of it, but it does vape like a motherfucker.
yeah.
And this is really funny to me. I have the drip tip from the Fody stuck into this thing.
I thought
And-
it was.
Yeah. And on the Fody, I have the anti-spit back drip tip from the Aromizer on it. And this also already has an anti-spit back system. So now this is flavor central, dude. It's like amazing.
Now you're in here, Sheeny. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what happened with that mech mod?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just popped down my local vape shop because I wanted to support them. I hadn't been down there in a while. I walked in and just chatting away, and then this young lad come in. I mean, he couldn't be much older than like 18, 19. Pulled out his mod and said it weren't working. I opened up the box and the batteries had been vented. Luckily enough, it hadn't been too bad. But yeah, it wasn't great. Wasn't great at all. So yeah, I had to have a bit of a moan at the people there. Why can't I hear anyone? Oh,
We're
there
not
you go.
talking.
Did the shop people actually know what they'd done wrong, or did they actually help him, or?
But the guy that actually sold it to him wasn't there that day. I spoke to the manager on the phone, and I spoke to the other guy that was in there. They didn't really know what they was talking about, to be honest with you. They was too busy talking about the next cloud competition, for my liking, and looking on the internet. It just didn't really help the guy at all. So, I mean, I took the guy's batteries out. I put my batteries in to test out the mod, and it worked fine. Yeah, I just couldn't believe that they would sell something like this to someone that doesn't know what they're doing as their first mod, their first ever mod. It's mental.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy.
The thing is, it's because one of the reasons for that though is all these trick videos and cloud comp videos that are out on YouTube. People see them and they're like, "Oh, I want to do that," even if they've not even smoked. So they go for something that's going to give them the power and an RDA when they don't even know how to build an RDA either.
Yeah. And I can't stress enough that there's not a goddamn thing in the world wrong with learning how to do all that stuff. It's just that, if you don't know what you're doing, you should find people who are willing to mentor you and tell you the truth about how to learn the actual facts and stuff about how to do it. And until then, get a regulated mod.
And put it this way, I was speaking to the two guys, like his friend came in with him that apparently knew a bit more about vaping and coils, and like I said to him, what's your build, like the coil build you're using? And he said it's 30. I said, what do you mean 30? He went, it's 30. I said, do you mean 0.3? He went, yeah, 30.
That's not called 30, that's called 0.3.
Yeah.
Sometimes I refer to it as 030, but everyone knows what I mean when I say that.
But he didn't have a clue.
Hey, Jeremy. Happy New Year,
What's
man.
going on, everybody? Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
So Michaela is asking about the joy. Michaela, you came in late. We talked, man. We were gushing about the erections we have for the 200 watt for the cuboid, and I was just saying that this chip is made by the same people that make this thing, and all of us that already own this clicked on the buy button instantly when we saw that cuboid. We're like, yeah, and we don't think it'll really be 200 watts, but we don't care.
Yeah. Is it on your list, Sheeny? Have you bought the cuboid?
Well, now I got this for Christmas. This mod is unbelievable. For a single 18650, I am so shocked.
Have you put it on bypass yet with any of your RDAs?
Not yet, but I'm just
wait till you do that, buddy. Wait till you stick your velocity on there. Put your velocity on there or whatever with like a 0.15 and put it on bypass, and you're going to be like, what? I have 108 watts? Yeah, it's real good. But make sure you build low.
I can't believe the battery life on it as well for a single 18650.
It's better than the IPV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still characterize it as bad, and I think that's fair. Because all single battery mods must be lumped into the bad battery life category. Just cause, whatever.
Yeah,
the way you build and all that matters.
I definitely agree.
But I worship this thing like my next breath. You have to tear this from my cold, dead hands. Like, don't get between me and this. It's valuable. And it makes this Fody sing like a bird. It only needs 40 watts. That means the battery lasts forever. I've already got 173 seconds. I keep the timer up because I'm actually testing these home life batteries, so I'm writing down all the life I get. Right now, I get about 600 seconds of burn on this thing. And it's a fucking 0.2 22 gauge. It's a serious build. It's like a real 22. So
I'm sure you can probably agree with this, Juicy, what Greg just said. The 316L stainless on the Mini with the new TCR settings is like wiping your ass with silk.
Yeah. And I confess, I actually did go in there. And fiddle with the numbers on one of the custom settings, and I'm even happier. I was like, could I get happier with this EVIC Mini VT? No, but I am. I did. I got happier.
Hello, guys.
And there's Satiris too. Talk to us, buddy. What's up?
I don't know.
We've got we got the whole world.
I just saw your invitation. What's up?
Nothing. Just wanted to see what's happening in Greece.
Too much food.
Oh my God! Yeah. It's been 2016 there for like a long time, right?
Right now it's 7 p.m.
Damn. Already 1,900 hours in Greece?
Yeah. And I started getting all these notices from my Malaysian followers on Instagram, like, it's New Year's. I was like, it was like yesterday morning. No, like, it was like Wednesday night. I was like, holy shit. Wow.
You missed an entire day and a half.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, let's ask Andrew's question. What are you looking forward to this year? Like, besides growing your channel to 20 million people.
Well, 20 million, 30 million, give or take, who knows. Well, basically, we've touched on this on the Vaping Coast to Coast with Cloud Beast show quite a bit, and that's I want to see this be the year of the advocacy, the advocate. You know, we really need to step up our game this year, because without that, we're not going to be holding cool new little devices like this RX200.
Sorry to interrupt you, but this is too late. That used to be, it should be 2 years ago. Now it's too late. Very, very late.
Now, is it too late in Greece, or do you think it's too late here in the States?
It's not too late here.
First of all, it's too late in Europe because our original fight happened somewhere in 2014.
Oh, okay.
And the new law is coming effect today, actually.
But
2016.
The great thing is that laws.
But as you can see, if you read how is his name, Vaping Greek. If you read Vaping Greek article, you are actually done deal, and it's going to be harder than Europe actually.
Yeah.
In Europe, you have the law with the nicotine level, but it's not going to affect your devices. In US, it's going to affect your devices.
It'll be the reverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
the good news is that it's not too late, because laws written by men can be changed in all cases.
A law change very, very slow. If it took them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's slow, does it?
Yeah, it does, because I will tell you right now, your FDA is trying to fuck vaping since 2011, and they failed because they didn't have any law to protect them.
Right.
Now that they're going to have it, it's going to be very.
I think all we're saying is that it's definitely not time to throw your hands up and say it's too late. So I definitely disagree with you there. It's definitely time to triple down on our efforts, because this may not be true in the EU. I don't know, but in the US, laws can change fast overnight. So we can still win. We can get ruled against. It can be bad for a year or two. It can get changed. So it is really important that this year be the year that people here, at least, wake the fuck up and start talking to lawmakers.
I agree. Look at Oregon. As of today, you know, there was that thing that I shared from Grim Green's Instagram the other day about their no vaping in public period law going into effect today.
Lol, unenforceable bullshit. That's not gonna happen. Here's the thing about Oregon that people don't realize is that Oregon has got some amazing. I mean, those people. There's a lot of things Seattle needs to learn from Portland, for example. But a lot of the shit that they come up with is insane.
Well, don't you call it Lower Seattle?
No, we don't think about Portland at all. That's the myth. Is that everyone?
Oh, that's
thinks,
right. They think
thinks
it's Portland.
Everyone thinks that there's this big rivalry between Seattle and Portland, and there's not. Seattleites never think about Portland, and Portlanders are always talking about Seattleites. So it's like I literally only think of Portland fondly because I love the town, and I have friends and relatives and everything there. So we love Portland, and then all of a sudden you see them do crazy shit like, you know, not put fluoride, so they make sure that all of their children have bad teeth for generations. They love doing that because they think it's right, even though science says it's wrong. They drain their 30,000-gallon reservoir once or twice a year because people pee in it, but that happens in every major city, and statistically and scientifically it's irrelevant. 20 people could pee in it every day, and it still wouldn't have any urea in your water that's detectable. So anyway, they go on, but they're ignoramus shit like that. So they're weird.
Okay, so Oregon is weird. Fuck Oregon, they're weird.
Well,
if
not
anybody's
fuck Oregon.
listening,
I hug
hold on,
Oregon.
I digress. If anybody's listening from Oregon, we love you, but your laws are weird.
I have a question. Is this Hangout live?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah. Some Highlander just said he's in the UK. It's not law. It's actually an act of tobacco, the Tobacco Act. So it's not acts and statutes are only given the full force of the law by the consent of the governed. And he said, I do not give consent and I am not governed, which It's
I'm sure we have that option here.
Yeah, it is actually the only law that we've got is obviously a lot of them's to do with smoking.
Yeah.
There's no proper laws on vaping.
So what I don't want to do is digress into a tirade against non-advocates, but what I will, or bad laws, because we could sit here all day long and talk about bad laws. What I really meant was technologically. Like, what stuff are you guys looking forward to?
I tell you what, technologically, I'm sitting where I want to be with my device. I mean, if this can become a better device, I'd like to see that in 2016. I love this RX200. I mean, I love this. I've loved this for a long time, and then I got my hands on this, and it's like, oh my god!
I thought I was going to hate my RX.
I did too.
Don't love it.
I love my RX.
I just bought a tugboat, and I love it. It's a DNA 200. It's very nice.
Oh.
And as you can see, this is for my friend Ellie. This is very sexy.
Yeah. Yeah. That Tug Life one is one of the ones I want. I want the white one with the red splatter. I love that thing. It's awesome.
I was trying to buy it because my vape shop here brought only 3. And the nice one that you liked, it was already taken.
Yeah, they're always gone.
They had this and the white one, and I hate white.
I don't know, I think the white with the green color scheme that they have looks pretty dope.
Yeah, me too. They just. Oh, actually, I've only seen the white with green a few times, and they're going to add more stuff too. I like those guys.
Yeah, me too. You need a MOSFET for your unregulated.
I'm just going to gut it and fill it with something else. And actually, I have a Christmas gift coming that is a new box. It's going to replace it forever.
I don't understand how we have the same clone and you don't have a MOSFET.
Because they sell it with 2 versions. There's one with and one without. It's crazy.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. I don't know why they sell a version without a MOSFET for, but they do.
Because they refuse to remove anything from their inventory that's still being sold to them from a supplier. Like if it's listed, then they are like, okay, we'll sell it. And here's a new version. They have 27 versions of everything. And you spend your time going, flipping through the pop-down going, is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Is this it? Reading every comment. Like, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Like, you and I talked about this forever, Luke, and I still ended up getting the wrong one. It's like, what? How did that fucking happen? It was insane. God, Satiris, I really want your freaking Tug Life DNA. I'm just gonna.
You are going to see it in a month. I'm coming there on 7th of February. And I'm actually bringing another toy that you will be surprised.
Okay. All right. As long as it isn't like a blow-up doll.
No. Because I have used it a lot, and I kill my doll.
You killed your doll.
In Greece, we don't use inflatable dolls. We use inflatable goats.
Oh yeah, of course.
Do you love me, baby?
Those only sell in Scotland and Greece. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
That's great.
I'm gooning.
I think we all need to pause and take a vape for that one.
Gooning.
Yes, definitely.
One of the reasons I'm stoked that you came on the show is that this is the thing that I was telling you about. I cannot wait to show you this. But I mean, I think you'd be pretty impressed with how I've wicked this thing. It's like I've channeled all the knowledge that Satiris gave me to be able to do this, because he's given me some RTAs that are like advanced wicking only RTAs. He's sort of like throw you in the deep end type of thing when I first started doing this. And so now I've done a pretty good job of this. So,
yeah, look what you are going to get when I come in Seattle. You need to learn how to set up with this thing.
Mesh. Is it mesh? Yeah. Yeah. You know, I have a creme brulee torch, so I'm ready to oxidize. So.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a creme brulee torch.
I do. That's what I've got right there. Same thing.
Woo!
Yeah. It's perfect. You don't have to buy any. We don't have to buy any new tools. Yeah, so he's going to teach me how to make mesh for this thing too, which will wick even better. It already wicks very well. It'll wick even better.
Of course, it's going to cost you, eh?
Oh yeah.
It's
All
going
right.
to cost you your left testicle this time.
No, he wants a. What Satiris wants is a big dick.
Exactly.
Hi-yo.
And you guys don't know this, but in Seattle, there's a fast food joint called Dick's that's the best hamburger ever. And so anyway, it's called Dick's, and we eat there.
Ironically enough, I've heard about that.
Yeah. Actually, one of the magazines, Esquire magazine, or one of them, GQ, something, Variety magazine, one of them voted Dick's as the best burger in America. Independent burger chain in America. Yeah, it's delicious. Yes, it's
There's
delicious.
so many ways I could take that right now. It's not even not
That's
funny.
it, though.
It's hilarious.
In Seattle, it's not an insult to turn to somebody and say, hey, let's go get a big bag of Dick's. That's not... Nobody in Seattle will even blink. They'll go, yeah, okay. And Satiris didn't believe me.
You need to see my face when Nelly told me, let's go have a dick. I'm like, excuse me?
He was really nervous. He was like, what?
Wait a minute.
And I walked him over there, and then there's the big neon sign, Dick's. And, you know, Dick is just a guy. His name is Richard, and he owns 6 restaurants, and he's been here 75 years. So...
For some reason, I had a flashback of every single Police Academy movie where they walk into the Village People looking bar where they're all dressed in the leather and shit.
Yeah.
And that's the day that I realized that I love big, juicy dicks.
They're good. And you can get a strawberry shake, too. In fact,
Nice.
Dawn and I just had a dick the other day. Every Tuesday we go get a dick.
By the way, this show is X-rated. The X is up here.
Bring all the dicks to the yard.
It's true. And they're open till 3 a.m.
Oh, that's
I would
bitchin'.
recommend that. Oh, look at that. There's a place in the UK to get stainless steel wire. That's good.
Dick's here, Michaela said, is barbecue.
Oh, yeah, totally. Barbecue. That was a thing in the South, too. So, yeah, what I look forward to this year is more interesting RTAs and stuff. I really can't, you can't give the Fody like the greatest at, what am I doing? I'm holding up the wrong one. You can't give the Fody like the greatest atomizers in the Universe Award, but I admire these guys for trying to bring back a Genesis-style thing. And one of the techniques they used was they kept the tank small to make the natural active vaping do most of the wicking for you if you're not using mesh. So they were pretty smart making it small, and apparently there's a new deck version out already, and I've had virtually no leaking.
We need to put it correctly, because Genesis are actually back for a year now. But what Ford is doing is it's bringing the affordable Genesis. Yeah. But the problem with Genesis is they are always coming in a small batch number, and they are extremely expensive and very rare to have them. It's like most of the Genesis atomizer are unicorns.
And then so it's got to follow that the clones are inferior quality and people get a bad impression because they haven't used a real one, right?
I will tell you an example of next gen. One guy from Vamporium ordered 2 different next gens, and he always had a problem with the conductivity. With the original one, I never had these issues. Genesis is tricky. It's not very easy to clone and be operational. What 40 did is what Smoke did 3 years ago with the RSS. When Genesis was on demand, Smoke released a Genesis atomizer called RRS. Very easy to build and very cheap. It was like $30.
Oh, yeah.
I think 40 has these qualities. First of all, you can do dual mesh.
Yeah.
And how much it cost? How much it cost?
$30.
For me, it's a deal. Actually, I'm going to try to find one.
I think it's a great deal. Dude, I'll buy one for you and have it shipped here for when you get here.
Yeah. Among other things, because I'm going to buy a lot of stuff. Yesterday, guys, I spent fuck. I spent too much. Like.
Oh yeah.
My wife doesn't speak to me anymore.
She's like, okay, that's 2016, Tatiris. There's your
No,
budget.
I returned from the vape shop, and as soon as she saw the bags and all the box ones that I bought, she says, okay, we're done, bye-bye.
That's why he's got the goat, I guess.
So my resolution for 2016 is to find a new wife.
Yeah. You better set up the couch, Juicy. Staying with you.
Yeah. You may want to. Why don't you just try to monetize yours?
And we will have a lot of dicks.
Hey.
The Dick's Drive-In is like 2 blocks from his hotel where they put him when he comes to town too. It's funny. It's really funny.
What happens in Seattle, by the way, stays in Seattle.
Yeah, that's what they say. So what else? Any of you guys in chat have anything to say? You know that we love all the viewers and everybody in chat, and today we're just having the most relaxing show ever. We're not trying to be revolutionary today. Today is just New Year's Day
I'm
chat-a-thon.
always trying to be revolutionary.
Look at me, I didn't even know that you have a show. I
No,
just appeared on the Hangout.
I know. I just presumed that Satiris was watching, and so I sent him a note, and he's like, "What? This is live?" I apologize. But you're
No,
free.
I was actually eating, so.
Oh, I'm so rude. Well, we love you, Satiris, so it doesn't matter. This is like the whatever show.
That's okay.
Here's,
People that know me, they say, "What the fuck? Why you brought this guy?"
are you kidding? Nobody has a reputation for being more of a just press play loudmouth than I do. Yeah, at all. So yeah, Mike Pavia is saying that the last 2 years he spent $2,500. Yeah, I admire you for actually having a number associated with that.
I quit counting in, I think, let's see, I started vaping May 7th. I think I quit counting May 9th.
Yeah. Hey, here's a question. Here's a legitimate user question. Alliance V2 or Phenotype L?
Oh, man.
If you have to pick one.
It's right there.
So Phenotype from him.
Yeah, even though I've been doing a lot of research on the Alliance V2 over the course of the last couple of days, because since I got this new little toy right here, I'm going to be banging out some HK builds.
Oh, she's got the drill.
Yeah. So I was actually talking to Chris from Hostile Clouds last night about trying to find an Alliance or like a big Buddha or something like that. But I mean, as it sits right now, I picked this up about a month ago, and I love this RDA. I mean, I can do some really intricate builds. I've got like a 12 wrap, twisted, flattened 22 gauge static wire in here right now. It's at like a 0.37 ohm. Bumping it 66 watts, and it's fucking eating it. I love it.
That sounds awesome. That sounds really good. That sounds really, really good.
And I
I'm a
like
big
a lot
fan
of
of
airflow, but I got this sucker half cocked.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I do the same thing. I vary all the time. I move my airflows based on my mood and the way my girlfriend's looking at me. If I see this, then I go lower airflow, turn the watts down. If she's on her phone like this, I'm like all the way open. That's just how I do it.
Going full balls to the wall.
Yeah.
200 watts. Let's do it. I got the hazy custard.
Yeah. And then she inevitably looks up and goes, Jesus.
Yeah.
I love that. Jesus.
Shall we?
So, Sheeny, what are you going to be doing this year? What's your plan? What's up? Sorry to interrupt you, Luke. I apologize.
It's all right. Carry on.
Just continue with YouTube. Really try and push forward a bit more. Try and get a bit more information out there. I'm going to try and get into the mods a bit more myself, learn a bit more about them, and maybe even build my own.
Do it.
Yeah.
Great idea.
More vlogs away from that desk.
Yeah. Luke wants to see me walking around more.
Yeah. I quite enjoyed the moving around vlogs.
That reminds me, I got a shout out to my friend Vaping_Anthrax on Instagram because he's hilarious. He does skits on his Instagram about vaping, and he just has done some funny stuff. Hello, buddy.
_Anthrax. I'm going to have to look that cat up.
And look, we found a Blaine.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Oh,
What's
I thought it
up?
was
Now we
David
have
Blaine.
the United States, Europe, and Canada in here.
Nice. This is multinational,
Yeah.
baby.
Word.
Yeah.
Blaine,
You
what
want
is
some
up,
cold
my
beef in a
friend?
bag?
So
Oh.
before we carry on chatting, guys, I'm just going to announce the winner for the replay for last week's giveaway, which is for the support RDA. Let's get screen share up. And that winner was Smitty9306.
That's awesome.
Smitty!
If you just email Juicy,
Congratulations, Smitty.
email Juicy at juicyjones@gmail.com, and we'll get that sorted out for you.
Yes,
And you
and this
can
week
pick.
I will check my spam folder because this week I lost the winner's email and it was gone. I wondered all, but like, what the hell? And he Twittered me, and so I was like, thank God, thank you for following up because I forgot.
And I
That's
believe
great.
they're going to have a choice, aren't they, Juicy, of what colour they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, because
I was
they
hoping.
got the blue, the new blue, and a bunch of other ones. I love my pink one. So. I'm pink
I have
and
officially
Clapton-y.
followed Vaping Anthrax on Instagram. I'm looking forward to seeing these skits.
I like that guy. That's that thing that I reposted where he was watching our show last week and he was just like, "Come on, guys, just get the fucking Petrie," and we were talking about it. We were like just debating about it. He was like, "Just get the Petrie," but he was going like, "Oh, squid, oh." But he wasn't actually vaping.
Word.
Yeah, that's good. He's a nice guy.
All right, I'm looking forward to that. Let me
love
let me turn on notifications for
We
this.
love
chat.
Instagram around here.
I love Instagram. I found myself doing more pictures for Instagram than I do for Facebook now.
Oh God, yeah, me too, all the time. I love Instagram, dude. So, who was it who was just saying that they're vaping 12? Was it Greg? Oh,
Yikes.
Stan. Stan's saying that he's dripping 12, and so I'm laughing because I was making some 12 for my friend, and I put it in the Sapor, and it's in here now. Whoa! I just did a vape of it, and it's.
That's pretty awesome. We're going to see Juicy disappear in a few minutes on green. He's going to turn this color.
I could rewick.
I have a problem with just sixes now.
Oh my God!
Wow.
I do
Hi,
too.
Juicy. How are you?
I'm back.
Hey, I got some Frida and a Zero, Nick. You want some?
Oh,
right
I
now.
love some. Give me.
Right now, I do.
Give me.
It's funny because this is all my DIY is 1.5, so I've been chucking on this, and this is 3 that I got in here. This is, of course, Sinful Apple. Yummy.
I'm just gonna steal Skeletor's Fritter, and I'm gonna vape a whole bunch of it.
Yeah, that stuff is good.
And then steal Juicy's Adore, and I'd be happy.
These things go quick, man.
Yeah, I bet.
It's really good.
Like,
Let me say something about Adore Liquid.
Sure.
Ellie gave me a bottle of the apple juice that they have, and because now with my DNA 200 I'm dripping a lot, I tried that. I sucked it in a day.
oh wow!
I had it with me for a month, and I never tried it.
Wow.
So yesterday I start dripping, and the bottle is empty.
Oh my God! Wow.
First of all, it's freaking delicious.
Yeah.
Like, and even my wife likes how it smells. She says, that's nice.
Yeah, it smells like people who burn potpourri, cinnamon, and apple and stuff.
Absolutely, it was delicious.
It does.
I cannot enjoy it in a tank because 6 mg of nicotine is a little bit too low for me. I'm vaping 12 normally, but with a dripper on 40 to 50 watts, it's fantastic. It's very nice. Thank you, Juicy.
Yeah,
Have some more when I come.
Juicy had said at one point somebody described it as tasting like a McDonald's hot apple pie that you get, and I'm actually in agreement with that.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
me too.
take it right now, and I'm gonna go down to Seattle then.
Pack up the kids, road trip.
Road trip, exactly. Get away from all this snow.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
That'd be
right.
really fun.
Well, down here, it's what is the temperature here right now? It was 87 yesterday.
Oh my God.
The temperature right now is -20 with without the wind chill, and that's in Celsius, I guess.
All right, let's see. It is where I live.
You see that, Satiris?
Oh, other way. There we go. 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
You're muted, by the way.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
Is that mine?
Yep.
Oh.
That's every flavor in 9.
Oh,
You are getting now. Now I'm excited. So I'm coming to Seattle 7 of February, and 9 of February it will be gone.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Luckily, I've got more we can
And
make.
that's my son.
Hey!
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 What's cracking, kiddo?
He's trying to vape my gear, but no.
Too early.
I don't have enough. It's bad for you.
He doesn't have enough. Lol.
So, guys, I got a story for you from last
Hear it.
night. I went out. So I was over at my sister-in-law's, and she won't let me vape inside the house. So I went outside, and the kids were all playing outside in the snow, and they were having fun. And my 11-year-old niece came up to me, and she went, "Are you vaping?" And I went, "Yep." And her teacher had taught her the differences between smoking and vaping the correct way. Gave her all the right info, and my
What?
jaw dropped.
That
I
is awesome.
couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I'm shocked.
So was I. I couldn't believe that she had everything right. She was missing a couple things,
Uh-huh.
but we sat there for about a half an hour to 45 minutes just talking about vaping
That's
the
banging.
correct way, and I couldn't believe the fact that there's teachers now up here that are actually teaching it the right way. And
I'm shocked.
I was like, with
I am
people
too.
like those teaching the right way, they don't even vape. Like her teacher has asthma and she can't stand vaping, she can't stand smoking, but she'd rather be around a vapor,
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
right? But yeah, she was teaching the right way, and I was like, oh my God. We
Wow,
might
I've got
actually
a lot
have
of
a
respect
fighting.
for her.
We might
Me
actually
too.
have a fighting chance up in Canada with people like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
I wish
fantastic.
there were more people like that throughout the United States. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems
Yeah.
to me that she might be closely related, i.e., like husband, son, something like that, of a vapor. You know, she might have a husband or a son who vapes, or a sister or something like that.
And I'm not
But
100%
that's cool.
sure, but yeah, I couldn't believe that an 11-year-old knew more about vaping than most of the adults that I know, and knew more correct information than most of the adults that I know.
That's good.
It sounds like she has more information than most of the congressmen down here in the United States.
Mhm.
Has more information than most of the government in Canada right now, too. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's astonishing. I'm so glad.
I think one thing that I want to see more of in this year is more scientists getting on our side and
You're
proving
goddamn
points.
right. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
You know, that has got to be the main thing this year.
Well, I'd also like to see this year more media on our side, too.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
That would be
Like,
nice.
we have more. We
Yeah.
have a guy up here from Vancouver that does interviews with scientists and stuff, and they're on our side for vaping and whatnot. And I've posted stuff over it.
Oh, that dude's my favorite guy.
Yeah, you know, yeah, that's right. And he's done a lot of good work for the vaping community to just show awareness of what we're trying to do.
Yeah, he
right?
interviewed Dr. Farsalinos and everything. But,
Yep.
you know, don't forget what Satiris pointed out, and that is that a lot of these laws are already written down, and a lot of
Yep.
the work we're going to be doing.
Actually, Dr. Farsalinos had the 2 interviews this week. One was in a Greek TV, and one was in one of the American TV shows. As per Dr. Farsalinos, late. It's, as you said, it's never too late, but we need to be careful. The problem is that we as a vapers, we provoke too much. I have seen vapers in a closed space, and vaping with 120 watts. We don't need that.
No,
Yeah,
we don't.
common courtesy
yeah.
and common sense.
Let's be more aware of our environment.
Love that idea.
For
Yeah.
us up here today, Marks, we can't vape in malls anymore. We can't vape in all that stuff. And on it, like in public parks or anything like that, and for the public parts, I kind of disagree with. But the malls, I don't think as vapors we should. I mean, there's people in there that may be allergic to just smoke, asthma, and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen guys just be complete dicks and just blow huge clouds, and there's no call for it.
Yeah, that's not allowed here either.
I
don't think it should
I
be.
agree. Now there's a local vape shop that has one of their branches is a kiosk inside the mall that's about 5 minutes from my house. And, you know, they're in the middle of the walkway. There's probably 12 to 15 feet worth of walkway on either side of this kiosk. And you can vape at this kiosk. But it's placed in such a, geographically it's placed in such a way to where it kind of, all the vape gets pulled up by the return. I guess you could say the air return.
Good.
But, and it's not overly obtrusive. However, sometimes I'd be sitting there and, you know, you got these young kids is unfortunately what it is most often than not. You know, they'll walk up and they'll be like, oh, it's a little vape kiosk, and they'll pull out their IPv3 Li or some shit like that, bang it at 160 watts and just start chucking clouds. But being like assholes about it. And I'll look at them, I'm like, you know, we're inside a building, please be courteous, because you know, people are looking at us with a bad name anyways because they see the vapor, they automatically assume we're smoking cigarettes, and they're gonna cause a scene if they're that type of person. Just, you know, be courteous, don't be a dick. And I think that's one of the big things that I would like to see as well in 2016 is more common courtesy. You know, people look at us as cigarette smokers to begin with. You know, why not vaping indoors? Okay, I don't have a problem with not vaping indoors. As a matter of fact, more often than not, I'll go outside and vape anyways. Because I'm one of those people where I'll sit there and I'll vape while sitting next to a cigarette smoker, because I've come to, you know, the point in my life where I know I'm never going back, so I feel comfortable sitting there and talking to them about vaping. You know, I always use that opportunity. But
you can vape, but vape normal, not... Don't
exactly.
do huge freaking clouds. Like, I have seen a lot of, because I'm in the airports a lot of time, I have seen a lot of people be very polite and have something small, set up small, a normal tank, and vape stealthy in the airport. You can see that. You can see that they are vaping. You can see that they are vaping, but nobody says something about them. Like, they don't say don't vape.
Right.
But if you go and begin to sub-bomb your lungs out, you will have a problem because it's...
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like your aroma miser is not the right thing for travel.
Look,
although it works great in town. It's fine.
This is the right thing for travel. A nice, simple hurricane.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I've got a little Tesla 2 submod box for you know, when I'm running my errands.
Snapdragon.
Ooh.
Who else has a Snapdragon? Didn't you just get one of those, Luke? He's ignoring me. He doesn't love me anymore.
Yeah.
So Terry,
Snapdragon.
I actually picture that you posted on WTF yesterday. That's a pretty rig right there.
What? Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was gorgeous.
I love your groups, and I like you, so I'm always going to post on your group.
Yeah, that's
I
something.
appreciate it, I appreciate it.
I'd like to touch on something that Johnny said actually in the chat. He said that it shows that the system doesn't want you to be healthy. I'm not sure what obviously the US is like, but especially for us in the UK, our health system actually wants us to vape. The problem is the government don't want their pockets to be empty.
I can agree with that for sure. And a lot of, you know, going back to what I was just saying, a lot of the problem that we're having is visual obtrusiveness. You know, it's people see and they put two and two together, and it's like, ew.
Yeah, true. So this year, everybody, that's the lesson. Let's be courteous and let's advocate for our vaping and let's educate non-vapers in a
most
friendly way.
Exactly. Exactly.
Courtesy. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. We've announced our winner, right?
Yep.
We did that.
Smitty.
It was Smitty. So Smitty emailed me at juicyjones@gmail. Everybody in chat, we love all of you, and everybody viewing, love all of you too. And it's been fun. This has been a chill show. I want to thank everybody who came on, Blaine and Sheeny and Satiras.
Thank you for
and
having me.
WTF,
Thank you,
all of you
guys.
guys.
And
It's
I
great
would-
to see you all.
And
Yeah.
I like just to say, thank you, Skeletor, and tell Cloudbeast I say thank you. Thank you, Juicy. Thank you, Polish Vapes. And thanks for the Overdose guys and all that for, giving us communities to come into and learn more about vaping. Because I was a new beginner, and all 3-year groups all helped me greatly and still are helping me greatly.
Yeah, I love Overdose Vapes. And I love Skeletor. And tell Adam I said hello too.
Well, definitely. And Blaine, this is the reason why I do what I do, is for cats like you who,
Yeah.
are looking to get off the fucking coffin nails. And we do it any way I can. Mine just happens to be a little bit of comedy with a little bit less knowledge.
Hey, that's my specialty. Hold on. Okay, so everybody, let's vape out. We love all of you guys. Thank you again. Vaping. Happy 2016. And I find the button.